Our prompt is spread the message.
Hi, my name is Michael Conroy.
And my name is Lexi Cease.
And this year, the two of us decided we were going to complete a Shop Local campaign with our community's Chamber of Commerce to create awareness within the community.
As we all know, 2020 was an extremely strenuous year, especially with COVID. What we wanted to complete with our project specifically was creating awareness within a community that couldn't really communicate with each other.
So for our project, we had to think of a few different rationales for why we really wanted to complete the project. The first being that there was an extreme loss in revenue for local businesses within our community. Small businesses overall for our country, 6 in 10 of them reported a loss in revenue since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our solution for this was to have an increase in sales on the business's holiday specials.
The next problem that we found was there's a real lack in money for advertising because of the loss in revenue.
For this, we created free advertising.
And then another big one was we live in Pennsylvania. Our governor was shutting down for the safety of others consistently, and it closed a lot of stores.
We needed to make sure we had an effective spread of information regarding shopping small. And we did this by communicating with the community about our free advertising.
Then the final thing is there was just a lack of community awareness about this issue and connection to the businesses between the members and businesses. And we just wanted to let the community know how they were being affected.
We needed to increase our community connection. So we were lucky enough to be able to work with the Bethel Park Chamber of Commerce, which is connected to the Blue Line Express. Their slogan is committed to promoting unity within a community. And this was very important within our Shop Local campaign.
As you can see, the picture there is a picture of Lexi and I, and then our BP Chamber of Commerce liaison, Miss Diane Ford. She communicated with us throughout the entire project. And the overall vision of the BP Chamber of Commerce is to see our business communities thrive and grow by assisting them with resources. Some of these resources will be informing community members about their business through different forms of advertising. And overall, they just want to help businesses within our community grow and thrive. So with this, we created two main goals. Our first one being business awareness. The second is educating the community. We are going to educate the community through the different awareness techniques we use, such as our advertising on Instagram. We'd make a post and we'd throw a few facts in there so then our community could get educated about shopping local and how important it is. And then the second thing is just encouraging people to shop small with business awareness. And we wanted people to shop small and know how important it is and how it helps their community if they shop at these local businesses.
We used several project management tools, one of them being our human resource management plan. As you can see, I am Lexi Cease. I'm the co-project manager. One of my jobs is to overview the entire project. My next job is to communicate with Miss Diane Ford, our BPCC liaison, as well as the local businesses that we will be conducting interviews with. Additionally, I did conduct all of the questions that we used for the local businesses.
And then I'm also a co-project manager. My job also consisted of overseeing the whole project. One thing different from Lexi's was I was in charge of running the Instagram. So I would make posts, do edits to our interviews so they would look spotless on our Instagram. And then I was in charge of communicating with the BP DECA chapter and Ms. Muller. Being the BP DECA chapter president, I thought it was better for me to communicate with the chapter because people know me better and I'm in a few of the classes. So Ms. Muller and I, as you can see, she's also on our management plan. She helped us communicate with her marketing classes as well as the chapter because she sees all of them every day. She did a few activities with them so they knew the importance of shopping small.
And lastly, but definitely not least, we have Miss Diane Ford. She is our connection to the Bethel Park Chamber and really the reason that we were able to conduct this project. Additionally, she is in connection with the Blue Line Express.
So for our milestones, we have 3: planning, approval, and implementing. Planning, we started off way back in August where Lexi and I, we brainstormed what project we wanted to do. We landed on the Shop Small and we created a calendar of the different activities we wanted to complete. We then shared this with the Chamber of Commerce and BP DECA chapter and Ms. Smuller so they could give us their input.
The next thing we needed to do was really get approval from the Bethel Park Chamber of Commerce. The things that we needed to get approval for was really just the usage of our Instagram as well as our appearance on Bethel Park Television.
Then our final milestone was implementing, which is an extremely important milestone, the most important one, because this was completing everything we had planned, from making Instagram posts to doing class activities and just getting out in the community. This step was very important in our process of the project.
And as you can see right here, this is just a chart of the planning, approval, and implementing steps. As Mike was mentioning, implementing is the most important step. And as you can see in the light green, that is the implementing stage, and that is the most, which is very good because that is everything that we actually completed.
For risk management, we had to think of a few things. The first and most obvious one being COVID-19. We had to stay safe when we were going into these businesses so we can keep ourselves safe and others. As much as we tried to stay safe, I ended up getting COVID-19, which did affect us because we had to move on to online and communicating online and completing probably 3 weeks of our project online. Another thing that was a risk was just success and failure of not getting enough followers on Instagram, and failure of not doing things correctly within our project.
Our last risk was just the participation of local businesses themselves, as well as the members in the community, and if they would want to be aware and if they would want to participate in this project that we did. And what we did to counteract this risk was we spoke very closely with the business owners as well as the community through our Instagram and our Facebook.
The next management tool is our proposed project budget, which the Commerce absolutely loved us for this one because we did not spend anything. We used so many free forms of promotion such as Instagram and Facebook. BPTV allowed us to be on their platform for free. Word of mouth marketing, which was very simple. We talked to community members and businesses talked to other businesses to join our campaign. And then our high school's morning news, we were fortunate enough to be allowed to be on the morning news without a cost because of DECA's close relationship with the morning news in our school. We then had to think about our project execution and how we overall wanted to execute it.
So the first thing we did was the recruitment of businesses. We wanted all of the businesses to hop on the Blue Line Express. You could join for free, but also there was 3 sponsor opportunities. The $500 one, you would receive a $100 credit yearly, a logo listing and your coupon of your choosing on the BPCC website, as well as a recognition and sponsor spotlight. This is the flyer that we handed to all the local businesses whenever we were recruiting them.
And then finally, we started posting on Instagram, which was really exciting. We made a whole bunch of different posts, a lot of them being our interviews. As you can see, the one of us in front of Rain's Energy Spa, someone commented saying, "I had no idea that this was in Bethel. This place looks wonderful." So that just proved that we were making an impact on people with our campaign, because what we did was we found Rain's Energy Spa another customer, which is overall what we wanted to do for our community and for these businesses within our community.
And then, as Michael was mentioning before, we did do a bunch of different promotions that really helped us out in this campaign. The first one was the Bethel Park Television. When we were featured, what they did basically was they asked us a few questions about just our introduction to our campaign, just to get the community aware of how to begin.
The next thing we did was we started interviewing businesses. This was a lot of fun. We got to go into a lot of wonderful businesses and meet a lot of great community members who were very happy to be part of our campaign. 3 years seeing, these were the ones we found most interesting. PGH Apparel, that is a local business from Pittsburgh. They have a real cool story about how they wanted to get started, and it's a family business, and we found that really cool, how it's just a big family working together to make an impact in the community and represent our city. The next was a chiropractor. He gave a lot of great tips on how not to hurt your back while you are on your computer all day, because the world we live in right now is all virtual. So he gave really nice tips about that. And then finally, Mr. Andy Amrine, He is a close friend of ours. He helps out with our DECA chapter all the time, very involved in the community. He runs a hardware store called Evie's Hardware, and he's a very educated man. He gave us some great tips about how shopping small benefits the community more, because when you shop small, 60% of that money goes back into the community. When you're shopping at a large corporation, only 25% of that does. So we found these interviews very interesting, and community members loved them.
We were able to conduct a shop local review game in the form of a Kahoot in all 5 of Miss Smoller's marketing classes. This is a picture right here, as you see down below, of it actually happening down in class. Basically, we just asked them some questions about shopping local and then informed them on what they didn't know.
The next thing we did was our holiday tree auction. BP DECA is in charge of this within our school. What happens is we recruit businesses for them to adopt a tree where they donate money to buy a tree. These trees are then given to clubs to decorate, and then we raffle these trees off. So this year we couldn't do it, but we still promoted the businesses that were going to be involved and how many years they were involved, and also put their website and any social media links on Facebook. So this overall gets community members involved, and then also creates awareness for these businesses that they're doing a nice thing by giving trees to people who can win them.
We were able to be featured on the Bethel Park High School Morning News. This plays in the morning at all of our high school events, and basically it was just an introduction to our project. The people asked us some questions on what we were conducting and why we were doing it, and we told them exactly why, that we wanted the community to be aware and become one.
Then the next thing we did this just this past month, was our giveaway promotion. What we did was a raffle on both Instagram and Facebook, where we had people answer a few questions, and then the person who answered the most questions would win a gift card. On Instagram, we did one to PGH Apparel because we thought that would be more targeted towards young people on Instagram. And then Facebook, we did one to a local diner called Mon Pops, who's very good with the community, and because that was targeted towards the older demographic that is on Facebook. But overall, this just created more awareness for these businesses and promoted the idea of shopping small.
Then we did need to evaluate our project somehow.
We started with this graph that we measured our success on, and we found that business to business, there was not a lot of awareness, but once we got into the marketing classes, more people became aware because of the amount of students Ms. Smoller does teach. And we found that our Instagram started to skyrocket the amount of awareness, and BPTV overall reached so many people that a lot of people did know about our campaign.
Then some lessons that we learned. One lesson that can really be applied to all aspects in life as well as this project is just to begin everything earlier. Another lesson that we did learn is, like branches on a tree, we all grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one. We are all walking around in the community doing our own different things, although we always need to stop and support each other. And one way to do that is really by shopping small and giving back to your community.
And then some recommendations for future projects. We found that communication is very important. You need to communicate not only with the partners of your project, but also the people you're working with, like the businesses, to measure the success of what our interview is doing. We would go back to the businesses to see how many more customers they got, or sometimes we had their cashiers ask, oh, did you hear about us from the Shop Local campaign, which we found a lot of people did. The next thing is you just need to focus on the task at hand, and focus on the main goal of your project. For us, that was about shopping small. So we had to focus on how to promote this idea and how to get more people to go to these local businesses to support the community.
And then this quote by Dr. Seuss, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." This really relates to us as well as the community, because with this being our last year of DECA, we really wanted to go out with a bang, as well as with a project that can be elongated over future years. And with this, shopping local is never going to end. We are always going to need to give back to our community.
Thank you so much for your time today. We hope that you learned something about our project and how we made a big impact in our community. And we hope that you go out today and shop local within your own community.